So that was Spa. Now here we are on a gloriously sunny day at Brands Hatch. On pole position, we have a familiar face in the person of Wayne Boyd, and alongside him, his teammate Victor Correa, waiting for the start of the race then, with those two Jamin Migals on the front row of the grid, with Adrian Campfield very well in qualifying to be third as they get away. Then a good start by the two front row men, also getting away well. In third place is Adrian Campfield as the car set off towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. The rest of the pack going through there, turning through that right-hander, down Paddock Hill, then up Halewood Hill towards the hairpin at Druids, and it is just about going to be Victor Correa who turns in ahead. He turns in just ahead of Wayne Boyd, and then down they go towards Graham Hill, towards Graham Hill Bend. In third place is Adrian Campfield. In fourth place it's Matt Hamilton, and going very well in the blue Van Diemen, Marco Sorensen, who hasn't been on the podium since Alton Park at the start of the year. Through Surtees and out onto the Grand Prix part of the circuit, the front four cars already begin to break away from Marco Sorensen in fifth place. Down towards Hawthorns, the very, very fast right-hander. A great, spectacular circuit, the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And the pack makes its way along the straight, the Derring Minter straight, towards Westfield Bend. One car takes a little bit wide, but gets back on the track okay. And the leading pack go through. Victor Correa ahead of Wayne Boyd, Adrian Campfield, and in fourth place Matt Hamilton. There they go through the right-hander at Sheens, then into the left-hander at Stirlings, and in a moment they'll burst into the side of the stadium as they come into Clearways, and Clark have been a gravel kicked up by one of the cars there in 6th, 7th place. So Victor Correa is beginning to open up a gap as he comes through Clark Curve to complete that one. There, right on the tail of Wayne Boyd in third place, Adrian Campfield in the Spectrum, going very, very well indeed, right on the tail then of the championship. He gets a little bit of a darting around under braking as he brakes and turns into Paddock Hill Bend, starting on lap 2. There we can see another of the JTR cars, number 24, Roger de Witt, the Dutchman, going through Paddock Hill Bend, but we're back with the leaders as they come out of Druids, down Graham Hill, into Graham Hill Bend. Great shot there, Wayne Boyd, and not such a great shot, I'm afraid, of Callum Holland, who's gone off into the gravel at Druids. Back with the leaders then, Victor Correa trying desperately to break away from the group of cars, the three cars behind him. The pack all in good order apart from Callum Holland as they go through Surtees there, as Callum walking away from his car. I'm afraid there's no further racing in this event for him. And a replay of, well, there he was suddenly entering stage right and off into the gravel. Not the first driver to have ended up there. The leading cars nose to tail again, with the pressure really being applied now by Wayne Boyd as they go through Surtees and along the straight towards Hawthorns. Is still the two red Jamin Migals, pursued by the two white cars, but one's a Spectrum and one is the Migal of JTR Racing of Matt Hamilton. Through the right-hander at Westfield they go, pursued by Marco Sorensen. He's the leader of the next group of cars, and a challenge being mounted here by Wayne Boyd. Is he going to be able to get through as they come through Sheens, turning into the right-hander there and head towards Stirlings? It's now Wayne Boyd who's taken the lead, and a challenge almost being mounted by Adrian Campfield on Victor Correa, but he's held on to his second place. The Brazilian there still second, but he wants that place back as they come into Clearways through Clark Curve. It's Wayne Boyd now leading. Wayne Boyd, a replay of how he took the lead as they come through Dingledell and head into the right-hander at Sheens, just scrabbling through on the inside line there. I think Victor Correa deciding at this point in the race possibly might be better to just wait for a fight back another day. So into Druids. Still Wayne Boyd then has the lead from Victor Correa, from Adrian Campfield in the Spectrum in third place, from Matt Hamilton in the JTR Migal in fourth place, and coming into view there in fifth place, the young Scottish driver David Brown in the Van Diemen. The four of them along the Trooper Straight into the left-hander at Surtees, back onto the Grand Prix circuit there, trying to make up some places. James Cole, he's right up behind the Australian driver Glenn Wood in the other Kevin Mills Racing Spectrum, but the best of the Kevin Mills Racing Spectrums is there, still in third place, still Adrian Campfield taking the race to the two, as they've been so far this year. Dominant Migal from the Jamin team through Westfield, staying with them absolutely on their tail. A great race, his best of the year for Adrian Campfield, this very definitely is. Right behind Victor Correa, clipping the curve as they go through Sheens, coming out of Sheens, turning left through Stirlings. There's David Brown in fifth place. Leaders ahead, suddenly to the left Victor Correa pulls out of the slipstream of the leader, Wayne Boyd, and on the right-hand side of the track, or the left as we're looking at them, demolishing a hoarding there was Adrian Campfield. Now there's a tangle between the three leaders. A spin by Wayne Boyd into the gravel, go Victor Correa and also Matt Hamilton. So Matt Hamilton is about to rejoin, but meanwhile at the front we now have a completely changed complexion, because out in front it is Adrian Campfield. Right on his tail is Tim Blanchard, and behind him are the two blue Van Diemen's with just Marco Sorensen now. Marco Sorensen's moved ahead of David Brown, turning into Druid. So we've got the Spectrum leading. We've got the second place Jamin Miguel of Tim Blanchard down Graham Hill into Graham Hill Bend. So very, very different complexion as the race has taken on now. Marco Sorensen there, number 6 now, has got ahead of his teammate, number 7 David Brown. And just up behind them now we have the yellow helmeted Chris Malliapard, and behind him you saw Linton Stootley. Now a chance to see a replay from a different camera angle of that spin at Clearways, and you can see there round the outside Victor Correa, on the inside line Wayne Boyd. A little tap I suspect occurred there, but there'd already been some build-up to that incident when we saw Adrian Campfield on the right-hand side, possibly because Wayne Boyd had slowed a little bit, maybe a misgear, who knows. But anyway, we're back with the leaders now. We've got Adrian Campfield out in front through Stirlings, followed by Tim Blanchard as they come out of Stirlings and head back towards the right-hander at Clearways, where the incident occurred a few laps ago. But now it's between just the two of them, with Marco Sorensen, the Danish driver, doing the best he can to keep up, but it's going to be, I think, between these two to the end. It's out in front still, looking for his first win of the year. Adrian Campfield, the Spectrum. There's the pack, there's Chris Malliapard behind in 4th place, being challenged by David Brown, and then alongside, side by side, we've got Peter Dempsey, is seeing the white Miguel there challenging Linton Stootley, but back with the leaders turning into Druids. Still it is the Adrian Campfield Spectrum which leads the race down Graham Hill into Graham Hill Bend. Can he have his first win of the year? Just 18 years of age, Adrian Campfield, followed by Tim Blanchard, the Australian, in 2nd place, Marco Sorensen in 3rd, and best of the rest, Chris Malliapard, already a double winner this year. He's got ahead of David Brown, as you saw a few moments ago, and he's staying ahead of him as they go through Stirlings. But can he stay ahead to the end of the race? Because being challenged he was there as they went onto the Grand Prix loop. But meanwhile, a little bit further ahead, coming through Hawthorns, are the two leaders. It's the white Kevin Mills Racing Spectrum, still hanging on there in the hands of Adrian Campfield, and it does seem as though he's just about done enough now to stay ahead of the pursuing Jamin Miguel of Tim Blanchard, and the Van Diemen, the Fluid Motorsport Van Diemen of Marco Sorensen in 3rd place. Out of Stirlings for the final time then, under the bridge, heading towards the right-hander. Some gravel kicked up into the face of the camera by Peter Dempsey, loses them a couple of places, but losing no places, he's going to take his first win of the year. A great result. You can see how happy he is. Adrian Campfield for Kevin Mills Racing of a Spectrum. And for 4th place, just hanging on there, Chris Malliapard ahead of David Brown as the cars roar across the line. Confirmation of the result, then Adrian Campfield the winner for Kevin Mills Racing and Spectrum. 2nd, Tim Blanchard. 3rd, Marco Sorensen, with Chris Malliapard just holding off David Brown for 4th place.
Yeah, it's excellent. Such a good effort by the team this weekend. They just tried so hard, and the results have just paid off. We'd had a bit of bad luck at the start of the year, and then it's just come together finally here. Had a bit of luck with Correa and Boyd going off, but that's racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to get back up there. We struggled a bit yesterday in qualifying, and found a bit of pace overnight, and were able to get up on the podium. So yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, they got away, but I had a problem with my teammate. He was behind me, and I was driving defensive, till I pulled away, but then there were two gone and I couldn't catch up with them. So it's a bit shame, but I don't think I had the pace for being with them either.
And there on the podium you see, joining the top 3, Alex Jones, the winner of the scholarship class. Welcome back then for round 20 of the British Formula 4 Championship, and we have the same two drivers occupying the same 2 places at the front of the grid. Wayne Boyd on pole position and his teammate Victor Correa on the outside of the front row as the grid forms up, and it'll be moments before the race gets underway. When the red light goes out, the race will be go, and it is Wayne Boyd who does a very good start, but again very good start also by winner of the earlier race, Adrian Campfield, in third place as the cars set off towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. One or two drivers anxious to make amends for problems they had earlier on, for example Peter Dempsey, but in the meantime the leaders going into Druids. Third place Adrian Campfield, and there you see Peter Dempsey keen to gain a few places, just going round the outside of the number 12 Spectrum of Glen Wood. Down into Graham Hill Bend, and there you see slotting himself between the two JTR Miguels is Tim Blanchard in number 3. His teammates out in front at the moment, with Adrian Campfield challenging them strongly, particularly Victor Correa as they went through the left-hander at Surtees and heading out to the straight, down the dip, up towards the very, very fast right-hander, which is Hawthorne's. The whole pack streaming safely through in classic Formula Ford fashion. We've got 3 abreast nearly amongst the back markers as they headed into that fast corner. Through the right-hander at Westfield, down into Dingle Dell, the undulating nature of the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, very well illustrated by these shots of this first lap of the race. As they come out of Sheen's then, turn left into Stirling's. There is Tim Blanchard, second in the earlier race. Just behind him is Roger de Witt, and Peter Dempsey also briefly in shot as they come through the right-handers at Clearways and Clark Curve. Matt Hamilton keen to make amends for disappointment where he spun in the early race at this very corner. It's Wayne Boyd leading, Victor Correa second, Adrian Campfield in the Spectrum in third place as they go over the line into Paddock Hill Bend. Very, very late on the brakes there, Victor Correa looking for his first win. Can this be his day? Well, he's got to find a way past the dominant championship leader, his teammate Wayne Boyd. They're the two blue Van Diemen's. There's the blue helmeted Linton Stootley, followed by the yellow helmeted Chris Malliapard. Down Graham Hill, going very strongly, Marco Sorensen, third in the previous race. And as the pack goes through the leading group of cars onto Cooper Straight, we pick up again the leaders going through the left-hander at Surtees. Great shot there of fourth placed Van Diemen, number 6 Marco Sorensen. Down the dip and heading up towards the right-hander, we have a change there. We'll be a little bit further back. I think maybe a place gained by Chris Malliapard, but we have in the lead still is the championship leader Wayne Boyd, pursued by Victor Correa, pursued very, very closely by Victor Correa as they go through Dingle Dell, through the right-hander at Sheen's, then along the short straight towards Stirling's. Victor Correa building up for a challenge as he here. There in third place is Adrian Campfield. In fourth place, coming into shot there now, number 6 Marco Sorensen. Fifth is his number 7 teammate in the other blue Van Diemen is David Brown. Leaders go through Clearways into Clark Curve. The first 4 begin to break away from David Brown in 5th place. Onto the pit straight, onto Brabham Straight. The two leaders, nose to tail. No way through on the inside line there for Victor Correa. He's going to have to take the long way round if he's going to get through, but he can't do it this time. Through Paddock Hill Bend, it is a potential passing place, but not on this lap. They run a little bit wide as they came out of the corner. Now a look on the inside as they break for the tightest corner on the circuit for the hairpin at Druids. It's still the same order, however. It is still Wayne Boyd in the lead, down Graham Hill, into Graham Hill Bend. Turning left, followed by Victor Correa, Adrian Campfield, and in 4th place still Marco Sorensen, with David Brown trying to get back on terms with that top quartet, which turns left now through Surtees. There you see Chris Malliapard being challenged on the inside line there by Matt Hamilton, who couldn't quite make it through. But the great thing about Formula Ford on the Brands Hatch circuit, there's so many overtaking opportunities. They can be tried with a serious prospect of success. Not, I don't think, so much, however, at Hawthorne's. It's still going to be Wayne Boyd who leads through there. But now they're on to the Derek Minter Straight, and the challenge being mounted on 3rd place by Marco Sorensen. He goes for the inside of Adrian Campfield as he's going into Westfield. There's a great overtaking manoeuvre that, but coming back at him as they go through Dingle Dell, and also David Brown's in the mix now as well. He goes through on the inside of Marco Sorensen, or does he? Yes, he does. Number 7 David Brown goes through, number 6 Marco Sorensen. So the top 2 now are trading places, or trying to trade places, as they go through Stirling's. And in 3rd place, or back into 3rd place after briefly losing it, is Adrian Campfield. Up into 4th now is David Brown, and Marco Sorensen, at least for the moment, back to 5th place through Clark Curve into Clearways onto Brabham Straight. Going past the pits, it's still Wayne Boyd. Now we saw Victor Correa have a go to try and take the lead from his teammate last time going into that corner. He's going to have another go this time. Is he going to succeed? Almost has to use the pit lane exit to do it, and it's worked for him. He's got through, but he has to go wide coming out of the corner, coming back at him as they come up the hill towards Druids. Is Wayne Boyd going to go back up ahead again? Yes, he does. Great Formula Ford racing. This almost interlocking wheels, the two of them, as they go through Druids. Down Graham Hill, into Graham Hill Bend. Wayne Boyd leads once more. Victor Correa is second. Third is still Adrian Campfield, not yet succumbing to the challenge of the Van Diemen's. Wayne on the middle of the road this time as they go in. Victor Correa is going to try every single corner on the lap, I think, but that's the way he's challenging there. Wayne Boyd again as they went into Surtees. So Wayne Boyd leads back onto the Grand Prix loop. coming down the hill, up to, in a moment, into the right-hander at Hawthorns. The teammates also trying to swap places there, but David Brown hanging on in 4th place, ahead of Marco Sorensen for the moment. Into Westfield, still it's the same 5 cars out in front. The 2 Van Diemers running side by side almost as they came out of Westfield, going through Dingledell. There could be a change here. No, David Brown hanging on ahead of Marco Sorensen at the moment. Marco cuts the corner as much as he dare. Wayne Boyd leads into Stirling's. Victor Guerrero is 2nd. 3rd, Adrian Campfield, still very much in touch. Perhaps the next 2 of the Van Diemers as they fight amongst themselves, falling away a little bit and dropping back into the clutches of Chris Malliapard, leader through Clark Curve. Challenged on the inside this time by Victor Guerrero again. Victor's going to be able to make the move. He started it much earlier this time. He's almost level as they go over the line. If that was the end of the race, it would be a dead heat as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. It's Victor Guerrero who just scrambles through on the inside. But it was a well-conceived manoeuvre that. He began it as they came through Clearways, and he finished it by taking the lead as they went into Paddock Hill Bend. And this time, he isn't repassed as they go into Druids by Wayne Boyd. So Wayne Boyd now in 2nd. He's got to worry about the white needle-nose spectrum behind him of Adrian Campfield as they go through Graham Hill Bend along Cooper Straight. A replay of how this manoeuvre happened. You can see he's lined himself up with a tight line, Victor Guerrero, as they come out of Clearways, Clark Curve, onto Brabham Straight, over the start-finish line. He's alongside Wayne Boyd, and then he breaks that a little bit later. He's got the inside line, but he makes sure he doesn't drift too wide that time, and so there's no way through to retake the lead for Wayne Boyd. But of course, as they overtook each other, so they slowed each other up a little bit, and that's allowed the other 3, the white spectrum in 3rd place of Adrian Campfield and the 2 blue Van Diemens, to join in. Now Wayne Boyd wants that lead back. Remember, there has not been a race meeting this year at which Wayne hasn't won at least 1 race. Is that record going to be broken by Victor Guerrero? Victor Guerrero in the middle of the road, turning into the right-hander at Westfield. And we've now got also Chris Malliapard. He's joined in as well. He's been able to catch up this group of cars for the lead, turning through Sheens. Tight line taken by Wayne Boyd. Fabulous racing. This little bit of a graunch I can see on the nose of Wayne Boyd's car. But that was in the heat of battle, no doubt, in this race, which is one of the best Formula Ford races we've seen all season. Side by side, then Victor Guerrero has the inside line. Wayne Boyd trying to go round the outside, can't do it there. 3rd is now Adrian Campfield, and now the Van Diemen back up into 4th place of Marco Sorensen. Nose to tail, can Wayne Boyd emulate what was done to him by his teammate on the previous lap? Don't think so, no, because Victor Guerrero has defended the inside line into Paddock Hill Bend very, very well indeed. But now Wayne's going to have a look on the inside line again. Victor goes